How would you like to hear the complete playlist? Every song that I played at last Saturday's Homecoming 2021. It's my first homecoming or school dance since 2019. There are some surprises here. And I do have some other thoughts besides the playlist that I'd love to share with you. And I'll do that tomorrow in the Tuesday DJ Gig Tips video. But in this video, I just wanted to share this playlist with you and the surprises that were on it. What I can remember being effective, what I can remember not being so effective. 750 kids. This was not an urban school. This was out, not even suburbs, like further out. And it's a rather affluent community. I like the kids there. They're well behaved. And it's not like they have something to prove like some of the suburban schools or whatever. They're good kids. So I wouldn't recommend that you take the songs on this list and play them verbatim at your school dances that you're doing, because it may not work for your school and the crowd that's in front of you. I was trying to play to my crowd. I had to throw some songs out there to kind of see what would work, to get a feel for things, and once I did, I kind of went with it, and it went pretty well. So here's the list. First thing I played was Better Believe, Belly featuring Weekend. Nothing. Bad Habits, Ed Sheeran. Nothing. Stay, Zed. Again, nothing. So I was trying a couple different things to see what they would do, and they didn't respond to anything. The big song that I found online when I asked people what should I play, one of them was Industry Baby, Lil Nas. Nothing. They just stared at me. So I played the Cha-Cha Slide, and they danced. It was a big song. I followed it up with the Cupid Shuffle. They kept dancing. And then we did Wobble. And yep, they just kept going. They were big hits. From there, I did Miley Cyrus, Party in the USA. Thumbs up all the way. Smack That, Akon. Another thumbs up, believe it or not. It's an older song, but it did really well. Hips Don't Lie, Shakira. Thumbs up. They wanted classics. It was crazy. Way Too Sexy, Drake. That song did good. That was a newer song, and they liked it. Dynamite, BTS. It went over really well with the girls. So I would give it a thumbs up. Stay, Lil Kid, Laroi, I guess is how you say it. That did okay. But I followed it up with Nicki Minaj, Starships, which was huge. Big thumbs up. And then I went into VC's Levels. Didn't do as well as I thought it would. It did okay. But I jumped out of it in the break. And went on to Levitating, Dua Lipa. It did alright. It wasn't great, but it didn't bomb. It did okay. I was expecting more. Dua Lipa is the one everybody talks about now, but I don't know. Haven't really found any big success with her songs so far at events. Maybe I played the wrong one, I don't know. But nobody asked for anything else in the request sheets that I had out. I did Nicki Minaj Super Bass because they seemed to like Starship so much, and it went over pretty good. Yeah, thumbs up. It was requested. A big one. Big one. Fergalicious, Fergie. Yeah, older stuff. Huge track. Deja Vu, Olivia Rodrigo. Very disappointing. This was a big request. This was a big one that I saw in playlist groups and such. It bombed for me. Didn't do much of anything. There were enough dancers where I couldn't jump out of it, but there weren't enough to really justify playing it. I could have played something else and had a better result. But you're trying things, you know? It's been a while. Uptown Funk. Huge. Absolutely. I followed it up with Yeah, Usher. I might get some criticism for this, but I did Gillo, Lil Jon, and it went over great. And I might get some slack for this one too, but I did Cotton Eye Joe Rednecks, and it was a monster track. They loved it. Moving on here, what do we got? Oh, another good one was Sexy and I Know It, LMFAO. Fireball Pitbull. Believe it or not, Macarena. It went over really nice. Not as big as Cha Cha Slide, but it went over well enough where I would call it a success. Shake It Off, Taylor Swift. Big song. Inferno, Suburban. No, didn't do much at all. It was disappointing. And I did Crank That Soldier Boy. Did very well. They liked it. And okay, this is gonna, you're gonna question me on this one, but it really happened, and I have footage to prove it. I went from Crank That Soldier Boy to Earth, Wind and Fire's September, which was requested. And I've been told from those in the know that this is a TikTok hit right now. So I guess that makes sense. But that tune was huge. Earth, Wind and Fire, September. Who knew? From there, I did Weekend Blinding Lights. It did okay. It did well enough to give it a thumbs up. Not as well as September. I did Flowrida Low. Huge. Absolutely huge. Best Friend, Sweetie and Doja Cat. Not too good. It again, well enough where I didn't want to jump out of it. Where I had enough people dancing to it, but a lot of the students were kind of mulling around during it. Probably half of them dug it, half of them didn't. Toxic, Britney Spears. Huge hit. What Makes You Beautiful, One Direction. Monster track. Especially for the girls. They loved it. Wanna Be Spice Girls. It did really good. It was just something I did thinking, well, we'll see how it goes. It exploded. It went really, really well. I'm telling you, it's a lot of throwback stuff. Cake by the Ocean was a huge hit. Yes, I'm so happy that I threw that on. A lot of these were not requested. I just played them thinking, well, if they like this, they'll probably like that. And I was right. Cake by the Ocean was a huge hit. Turn Down for What? DJ Snake. Another monster hit. They loved it. Like a G6 Far East Movement. Yeah, it went over well, but not as well as I thought it might. It was a request. I did get a request for Weekend, Save Your Tears. And I discussed it with her. I said, I love that song, especially the one with Ariana Grande as a duet. I said, but do you think it's going to be a good dancing song for this audience? And even the student said, you know what, you're right. You know what, you're absolutely right. Don't play that one. How about Like a G6? Okay. Yeah, it did okay. But if I could go back and do it again, I wouldn't play it. It just wasn't that big of a hit. Watch Me, Stiletto, did well. YMCA Village People, huge. Party Rock Anthem, LMFAO. And this particular school, their big tune is Darude Sandstorm, which I did for the last song. And it went alright, but you know what? They were pretty tired and done dancing by that point, I think. It did well. Don't get me wrong, it did well. But it wasn't the big blow-up banger that it normally is. And the reason being, I'm suspecting, is something I'll talk about in tomorrow's Tuesday DJ Gig Tips video, because I think there's a reason for this. But anyway, that's what I played. That's my complete list for the 2.5 hour long high school homecoming dance I did on Saturday. And I have another one in the neighboring community to this one that I'm doing next Saturday, or this coming Saturday, I guess I should say. And you know, I don't think it's going to be much different. We'll see how different it is, though. That'll be fun. What I'll do next week, Monday, if I have time, because I do have to take a trip next week. If I have time, I'll do a video talking about how it differs from this weekend, because there might be some things that are different on there. But I think it's going to be kind of linear, because they are neighboring communities. We shall see. Anyway, that's it, folks. Thanks so much for watching. I do appreciate you so much. We'll see you soon. Practice and enjoy.